These are the guided notes for a dot plot, a box plot, and a histogram, which are all different ways to display statistical data in a visual way. We're going to jump down to dot plot. So dot plot shows the student scores on the 6th grade reading exam, and we have a couple questions here. So how many students took the test? To figure this out, what you have to do with the dot plot is just basically count the dots. So there's 3 for 1, 2 for 2, 2 for 3. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 4, and 1, 2, 3 for 5. So I'm going to add those up. 3 plus 2 is 5. That's 7. 7 plus 6 is 13. Plus 3 is 16. So 16 people took the test. What is the mean of the data set? Well, to figure that out, again, I need to add up 1 plus 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 6, 4. So I'm actually going to do 6 times 4 here, because I have 6 4s and I don't want to add 4 6 times. And then 3 5s. So again, I can do 3 times 5 for that. So when I add all of those up and I divide by 16, I get 3 1/4, or 3.25. What is the mode of the data set? And this is where dot plot really comes in handy. I can definitely see that there are more 4s than any other number. So 4 is the mode. And the range of the data set, well, I'm going from 5 to 1, so 5 minus 1 is 4. And that is basically how we use a dot plot. Or if you were given like these numbers and it said create a dot plot, you would just put a dot over 1 3 times, which you will have to do on your test, a dot over 2 twice, and so on. Alright, next page is a box plot, which we should have gone over a little bit before. So a survey question asked 20 students how many apps are on their phone. The results are shown in the data set. So we have all of these numbers. You'll first need to find the 5-number summary to create your box plot. Remember, the 5-number summary is the minimum, the first quartile, the median, the third quartile, and the maximum. And then we will follow the steps to create a box plot. So let's first figure out our median of the data set. So I'm going to start inside and go in. If that doesn't work for you, you can just count how many numbers there are, divide by 2, and that gives you a pretty good indication of the middle. So let's just make sure I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on that side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on that side. So I actually have 2 numbers in the middle. Luckily they're both 7s, but I'm still going to put a line down there to make the box plot. So my median is going to be 7. My minimum is 1. Those are pretty easy to figure out. And my maximum is 19. To figure out the first quartile, again, I'm going to include the number to the left of the line I just made when I figure out the median of the lower set of data. So again, I'm going to go in. Maybe I'll just circle these. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, I have 2 numbers in the middle. Luckily, they're both 4. So my first quartile is going to be 4. And my third quartile, again, I'm going to include the 7 to the right of the line when I figure out my median. So I'm just going to go in from there. And I have 8. Now using the information, create your box plot. So the first thing we always need to do is establish a number line. So I have to have 1 through 19 on my number line. So I'm going to actually make my number line 0 through 20. And I'll probably skip count by 2s. 0, 20, in the middle I'll put 10, and then skip count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, and the spacing obviously is not perfect. That's okay, as long as I can see the numbers and the scale that you're using. So skip count from 10 to 20 by 2s, 12, 14, 16, and 18. Okay, so what I usually do first, and it's different for everyone, some people like to start with the minimum and work left to right. I usually start with the first and the third quartile because the quartiles make the box. I'm going to write that off to the side here. quartiles make up the box of the box and whisker plot. So my box is going to go, or my rectangle is going to go from 4 to 8. So here's 4. I'm going to start a little bit above the number line. 4, and then here's 8. Okay, so I'm done with the box of the box and whisker plot. The next thing I usually do is just indicate where the median is, and the median, like we did up here, I usually draw a line that indicates the median. So think of that. I'm going to draw a line in my box that indicates the median. The median is 7, which I know I don't have on my number line, but it's between 6 and 8, so that's where my line would go. And the last two things I need to plot are the whiskers of the box and whisker plot. The whiskers are the minimum and maximum. I'm going to write that down here too. So what whisker is it extends from the edge of the box to the minimum. So our minimum is 1. So I'm going to make a line from the edge of the box to 1. And you can either leave it like that. Some people put a little edge mark there. And then my maximum is 19. So I have to do a line from here to 19. And that is my box and whisker plot. And you can see that we have a bigger cluster of data between 1 to 7. And then it gets more spread out from 7 to 19. So that's a good visual representation of that data. The last thing we're going to do is make a histogram for the data set. A histogram is really a nice way when you have a lot of numbers that are the same, because we can cluster them together. So it says first let's create at least 4 interval bins. Let's see, we have 0 through 16, so maybe we cut it into, well, we have a lot of zeros. I was going to do 0 to 4, 5 to 8, 9 to 16. That doesn't seem right. 9 to 13, and then 14 to 16. That doesn't seem right either. Let's cut it into thirds, sorry. Sometimes we make mistakes. So 0 to 3, and 4 to 7, 8 to 11, and then 12. We're just going to have that go all the way to 16. That's okay. Okay, so what we do is a survey question asks students how many pencils they have in their pencil box. And so pencils in their pencil box, this is actually going, these numbers that I just wrote, these intervals, are going to be on my x-axis or the horizontal axis. So 0 to 3, and then I have 4 to 7, then I have 8 to 11, and I have 12 to 16. And what a histogram is like creating a bar graph by counting how many numbers fall between 0 to 3. So let's just count how many numbers are between 0 to 3, and then we're going to go 4 to 7, and then 8 to 11, and then 12 to 16. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So how high this goes, or the vertical axis, needs to be at least 20. I'm going to make it go to 25, and then it's probably skip count by 5s. So we have 0 here, 5, 10, 15. Again, my spacing is off. Sorry, guys. This is why a pencil comes in handy. I'm still going to start with 5 here, but I can leave a little more room. 10, 15, 20. Okay, so we said we had 20 numbers between 0 to 3. So my bar graph between 0 to 3 is going to go up to 20. You can shade it in or leave it blank, it doesn't matter. Between 4 to 7, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So my bar graph for 4 to 7 is going to go to 10. From 8 to 11, I only have one number, so that's not going to come up very... Nope, that's like going up to 5. And then from 12 to 16, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers, so that will actually come up to where I drew that other line. And there's your histogram.